Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel and this amazing video. I'm Aditya. In this video, we will see how we could use Garchi CMS, which is a headless CMS, with Nuxt 3 and create this headless website. Now it doesn't make sense. Any random content is coming there, but the gist of this video is how we can have content, whatever the content we have on the website, managed through a dashboard, which could be used by anyone without having to have any knowledge of coding. But of course, to build the front end, we need knowledge of coding. Let's start by getting our API key and also putting things on Garchi dashboard. So to begin with, we will sign in first. Then I'm going to create a new space. I'm going to call this as website demo. Save it. You should see the space ID over here. Let's get that. Now the API, it's mostly for each space, but you have one token for all spaces, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'll assume that all the website content that I'm going to create will be inside this space. So we can have the space key in the configs of next config. So here I'm going to say space UID and just paste whatever key that I copied. Next, we go inside the space and here it asks us to create category. Now this manage items could be used, or these categories could be used to write your blog articles, or it could be products, or it could be profiles, anything. But what we will do is we'll just create a web page. So we'll go to the headless web. But before that, let's go and create our API key. So we go in settings. So we go in subscription, and then inside subscription, we go within our API token. So I have already created a token. Now I'll just paste the token that I have created over here in the runtime config as Garchi API key. Now the thing is, this token is used for billing, so it's best that you keep it secret. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paste the token and then proceed forward. Right. Now next thing is, I have some component scaffolding over here, so I'm going to keep it pretty simple. So I have the hero container where I have some props being passed, which are like heading and content. We will see how it looks like. And the navigation item. Also, we can manage this through Garchi, but for now, I'll keep it like a hybrid approach, like some managed from Garchi, some from hardcode. So in a way like that. Then I have a feature container where over here, I'll be putting some features of my website or my product or any SaaS that I'm having right now. And each feature has a nested component like a feature item, which will be over here. Now, what we will do is we'll head on to our dashboard over here. And in the dashboard, what we will do is go to headless web, pages, and here we'll start creating a page. So let's create a home page and have the description. This is for SEO. So I'm going to say this is an amazing website where you can write a proper content over here. Now this is a relative path. So this is my root page. So I'm going to say / save changes. And that's it. The page is there. Now we can have this page published, or we can have it in draft and call the API in draft mode. If it's in draft mode, it will give you live updates. If it's in live mode, it will give you the cached or your last published page draft. So for now, we'll keep it just draft mode. Now what I'm going to do is on this page, we need components, and those components should resemble these names over here. So let's go and create those components. So inside this, we have section templates. We go to section templates. Then we have the hero container first. So let's write hero container. Hero container. There you go. Save changes. Then we got features like this. So add new features. Then we got feature item. Feature item. Is it ice? Yeah, perfect. And now each of these components have props. So these props over here, we need to put those in the templates. So what I'm going to do is start with the hero container. So here we can add props. So the first prop is icon, which is going to be the name of the icon. So I have created an icon map, which it's kind of like having a key value pair where value is the component from our hero icons. And this is just the user-friendly name. So arrow, cloud, fingerprint, lock, these are the icons names. So they are just going to be string. So here I'm going to say this is going to be icon So icon, and that's going to be string, so that's going to be text over there. Save this, prop save added, that's great. Let's go for the next one. So we got name for this one over here. Oh, sorry, I'm dealing with a feature item. Okay, so let's add some props for our hero container. So here in the hero container, we got heading and content. They are string. So let's go inside hero container, heading, it's going to be text. Then we got content. I'll keep this content as a long text. We can also have rich text. Media is for images. Long text for now, because this could be more than 2-3 lines. So I'll just keep it as long text. So that's done. Save this as well, and close this. Next, we have features. So inside features, props. So if you go over here, we got heading, subheading, and subsections. Subsections are going to be the nested components. So we just need to provide these two props, heading and subheading. So here I'm going to say heading, and then we got subheading, the next one. Just need to make sure the prop name matches what we got over here. Then we head on to feature item. So for feature item, manage props, we got icon. So icon, we got icons map over here. So each icon is a component. So key value pair over here. So we got the component and the user-friendly name. So I'm going to call this as a string for icons as a prop, name as a prop, and description again, some long text. So here we got icon, then we got name for the feature and the long text for description. There you go. We can also add images as a prop, so that will return a URL, but for now I'll keep it just plain text, and that's done. So once this is done, let's go back to our pages. If we need images, we add in the assets first, and in the page we got the home page. Let's go over here. Now currently the URL is not there, so let's put the URL. So currently I'm running it on localhost, so let me double check the server is not running yet. So npm run dev. Let's go over here, run the server, which is already running, and this localhost :3000. That's the website. Now it's loading over there, so that should be there in a moment. Save this URL for this space. Now here we will add the hero container first, add to page. And what we need to do is, once we got the hero container or whatever components we got, we need to call our API and have that rendered on our home page. So how to do that? Well, we got the documentation for that. So if we go to Garchi's Headless Web Docs, here you will see on a page section, it shows how to call the API. But if you need a specific one, we got the Nuxt example. So here, these are our components that we just created. And now we need to get these components one by one. So what I'm going to do is, whatever components I'm using, either I can register all these components in a global folder and register all these components as a global, but as the Nuxt documentation says, it's not that efficient, or that's not recommended. It doesn't say it's efficient, it just says it's not recommended. Sorry for that. So in case if you want not to import them individually, then you can just put it in nuxtconfig.js as a global components, like in a global folder over here, or just register all the components as global, or you can have them one by one, like how I'm going to do now. So here I will have components, and this is going to be like an object, and here I will have feature item, and that will be, so we'll use resolve component of view and pass the string. If you pass a variable, it won't work. It needs to be like a literal string. So we got the feature item, then we got the features component, so hero container as well, thanks Copilot. So that's gonna be like this, and then we got the features. Perfect. We can, whatever components are needed later, like that we are registered in Garchi through dashboard, we will need to import it over here. Now in the documentation, it says we need to call this API. Now these things work perfectly fine. But the problem here is, if these are used as a runtime config server only values, but not in the public object, then it won't work, because this use fetch runs on the server as well as on the client. And the other issue here is, even I have no problem, like don't know what's happening, but let me know in the comment section what's wrong. When I pass server key over here in this object to be true, this use fetch is still called on the client for some reason. Maybe it's just the behavior like that. And here, this if we have it as a runtime config, as like what we got over here in our nuxt.config.ts, these things we need to define them as public, and that's what we don't want. We want them everything to be called from the server side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a server API route and then call that route from our page.view. Now here I'm just going to put my API key and continue. Right, in our server route I have just some scaffolding. So here we have define event handler and async function. We get the slug that we will pass in the post request. This is going to be a post request, so I just have garchi page.post.js. Then here we need to do certain things. Now as I'm using like a dynamic route or catch all route at a root level, at a very root level, there will be various edge cases for this. So the first one, what if the slug is undefined? At that time I just need to keep it blank. What if the slug is, let's say, object, but the first parameter is undefined? Blank again. There are these cases have happened. It's just that I have tested. I'm just putting it over here, so that's why I'm just going through all these cases. And then we got, what if it's just string? So I'm just going to use, if it's just string, blank again. What I want is, these things are generally happened, or they generally happens when we got a slug as array and it has something like this, undefined and some route like this, or maybe it's generally it's page. Now the problem because of this is, as this is undefined, if we just go with this, it's gonna fail. So what we need to do is, we just need to keep this edge case that if anywhere we see undefined or of type string, because generally if it's a root levels route, it will be of type string, and we can just say root /, but if it's, let's say, / about, or let's say something like / example / about, then it won't be a root level route. It will be more like a array. So at that time, in case we got the array but the first one is undefined, we got everything fall back to a root route or home route. So this again is going to be like, we need to make sure that it matches these page slug over here that we got. Let's go from the editor to there, this over here, this slug over here. If we have the about page, and if we have, let's say, about page in some marketing web folder, so / marketing / about. So just need to be careful on these relative routes or relative paths. Now once that's done, let's go and call the API. So here I'm going to say const config equal to use runtime config. This is the global composable available, and here I'm going to say const data, and here I could use $fetch, and here I will use await, and here I'm going to say this from config I need Garchi API URL, and that will make call to the page API. Here we need to pass certain things. So method is post, headers, we get content type application, and also we need to pass the API key. So here I will have authorization, bearer token, Garchi API key. Just need to make sure it exists with the same key. Yes, it's actually underscore API key. Then we got whatever details we need to pass. Now here we need to say, currently we are asking it for a draft mode. Then we need a space. So our space UID will be config and this space UID. Now here I'm just following this schema over here. So we got space UID, mode, slug, and that's gonna be whatever slug we have. Now I'm putting / over here. That's why I have blank over here, so that it will just go to the / slug, and that's gonna be, maybe I'll just copy this, a bit lazy, sorry. So here just put it out there. Now once we get this, we just send this as a response, return, we just say data, whatever data we got. In case if there is no page, if we get, let's say, null or something like that, we can have that handled over here and create an error of 404 so that we have no page found as well. So that's manageable as well. Now once this is done, this data goes to slug.view, and here, this I will explain in a moment, but here we got this use route, so that we can pass the router params as shown in the documentation over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take route.params.slug and use this use fetch. So I'm just going to copy it from here and just go over here. Now here, instead of making call to this, I'm going to say I want to make call to my internal API. So that's going to be Garchi page. That's right, page. Then these things are not needed. We just need to pass the slug. So here I'm going to pass the slug as route.params.slug. These are not needed as well for now. And that should give us the details. So here, if I console this, console.log page.value, and if we go over here, just refresh this. Okay, we get something. If we see over here, we got an error actually. That's our something. So let me quickly see the error. Let me minimize this. So it says assignment to constant variable. So I think I have used const somewhere. So we got use route. Yes, that's over here. I just need to make this as let and refloat this, and there we go. We get our data. Now here we got the sections. We just need to pass those sections as a props. Now this user over here in our this work is done, so that can go. This user over here is having or injecting a script inside our page. Now this script will make sure that whenever we open our page in Garchi dashboard, so if I go over here, let's say edit the page over here, the editor will show the page over here. All I need to do is pass my URL if it's in localhost for now. Whenever I click here, the page will scroll to that section, and whenever I click on the page, it will open that section. So these connectivity between the editor and the website, for that we need to pass this script. Plus every time whenever there's a response, this additional props are added, section ID and page ID. So we want these props to be attached on each of those components. So for that I have vbind address on each of these components over here. This one doesn't have it, so let's have for this as well, vbind $address attributes in other way, that's as well here. And then first let's get in the SEO things. So page.title, and we should see here home. Perfect, things are getting there. And now we will use the dynamic component. Now what this is doing is we got section in page.sections. So each page has sections. That's what we are doing here. We are getting data, we are aliasing it as a page. Each section ID is going to be unique, so we can use it as a key. Whenever we are using v4, we need to pass this key prop. And here we just need to say, okay, the component is from this components object, whichever components we are using here, and the API will have the component name. That's why I said the component name is good if it matches with the API, or it needs to match with the API, in other words. So this thing is the component name. So inside sections we got name. That's what we got here, section.name for each section. And this vbind takes only like one object as a prop. So in our case, some of the sections, especially this features item, will have subsections. Subsections are nothing but nested components, like something like this. So we need to pass that as well. So for that reason, here I'm assuming I will just have one subsection, but if there are many, then in that case we will have again the dynamic component tag. So that's a different thing. Now here we will pass an object, we will spread this, so whatever the actual props are, and this additional prop that we are passing, subsections section.children. Save this, and let's see what do we get here. Okay, we are getting a container. That's great. So here if I go, we got the hero container. That's why we are only seeing hero container. Now let's edit this hero container over here. So I think this is an extra prop which is not needed. So let's modify this hero container as well. So if we go back over here, manage props, and just delete this icon prop because that's not needed on hero container. Maybe I added by mistake, sorry for that. So let's go back to the pages here. And now here I can pass the heading. This is amazing, something like this. And here I can say this is a demo for a Nuxt 3 and Garchi CMS. There you go. Everything is reflected. If we refresh this, it's reflected here as well. Now let's take a step forward and also add our feature section. So let's go back to home. Then inside, just need to make sure that we are at the correct level of the component tree, because we need that features in the home page, not in the hero container. So here we have features, we add to page. Now each features has a heading and subheading. So here I will add a subheading that's going to be, let's say, our amazing features. And then here I'm going to say this is again amazing. That's great. Save this and we should see our features section. That's great. Now inside features, we got the feature item. Now we can add them over here. So first feature item, each feature item will have a description, name and icon. So description is subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Then we got the name. So name I'm gonna pass. Oh, type subscribe. Sorry, I haven't subscribed. Yes. Then we got the name. So subscribe as the feature name. That's an amazing feature. And then the icon. So currently we are having the arrow icon. If we save this, and there we go, we got it. So I think we have messed up in the feature section a bit. So features, feature item. I think we haven't passed the icon over here. So section.props. Okay, that goes over here. So we got the icons dot, yes. So here we got icons dot icon. So icons dot icon, and are we passing it right over here? So we got icon as arrow. Let's do this. Let's have this over here as like this. So let's just see if we are getting the right icon. So if we put over here, so we get the arrow. That's right, that's what we want. Maybe this we need to pass icon like this, and there we have it. Perfect. Now we can add multiple features. So you can go back over here, we can add another feature. So we could say inside features, we got another feature item, and this time we will say like this video and share. I'm not sure why I'm adding this as feature, sorry for that. Like and share, and icon will be any random icon, maybe cloud. And save. Okay, there you go. Perfect. So this is how you could create. Now this is a bit random content, but in case if we want to take some assistance from AI, then we can just go over here, just say auto generate, and here I just need to say this is the home page for, what is this for? Let's make it for website, not website, maybe for, let's say, software development. This is the hero container of the home page, and that's it. We can provide additional context like what's the website about, like what our business does, etc, etc, etc. If everything goes right, we should see here content. So this should take a moment, and there you go, we got some content. Save this. Okay, this seems a lot, so we can just minimize, like remove this and keep it like this. Perfect. And also we can have this to be empower your business with software development. That's fine. Or maybe we could do something like amazing software development. Amazing software development. Perfect. So that's all in this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you feel this video is worth sharing with your network, please do share with your network. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel. So see you in the next video. Till the next time, goodbye.